How's it going, everyone? Today, we're going to be checking out We Stand Alone Together, The Men of Easy Company. I recently finished watching Band of Brothers on this channel. The reaction to episode 10, the last episode, was recently posted on my channel. If you haven't already seen that reaction series with me, I highly recommend you do so. It was very enjoyable. What an incredibly well-made series that was. I enjoyed watching it with you guys so much. I loved hearing all of your feedback, all of your comments, all of the information that you guys share with me. It was just so incredible, and so many of you told me that I should check out this what I think is like a documentary. Some people call it the 11th episode of Band of Brothers. I really don't know exactly what I'm in for with this. I just know that I'm very much looking forward to learning even more about the Men of Easy Company, because Band of Brothers was so incredible. I'm so glad that I finally sat down and watched the whole thing. And I really hope you guys enjoy watching this with me as well. If you enjoy full-length reactions, want early access, then feel free to check out my Patreon. Everything that I watch gets posted there first and in full watch-along format before it comes to YouTube. I'm watching the Pacific over there right now if you're interested in that. That will be coming to the channel very soon. If you want to see that or anything else that I watch early and in full watch-along format, then feel free to check that out.
A random shell came in. It couldn't have gone off more than 5 or 10 feet away from me, because all I remember is a tremendous blast. And when I tried to get up, only thing I could see were the broken ends of my legs.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And I thought my legs were gone.
Wow.
Both femurs were shattered, and they were laying down here as I was in my back trying to raise my legs up. And I thought, I'm dead. You know, I'm about to die.
Wow.
I said my act of contrition, and then the next thing I thought of was my mother. What's she going to say? Because I was an only child.
Wow. Just imagine that sticking with you for your entire life. That moment. Volunteer Parachute Regiment, yeah. And we know what company that is. So awesome to see these interviews. I can't wait to see more interviews with these men. This is so cool. Is this real footage? Oh God, they went through so much. Seeing that whole journey in Band of Brothers is just incredible. They had one of the highest casualty rates. Can't wait. I'm so glad their story has been told. I'm so glad that we got this and Band of Brothers.
My name is C. Carwood Lipton. I was born in Huntington, West Virginia. Grew up in Huntington.
We heard that when we was talking to Dyke.
My name's J.B. Stokes. I was born close to Bonham, a little area called Leonard.
Wow.
Born and raised in Columbus, Ohio.
Martin.
My nickname was Babe.
Babe.
My mother, your little Irish broad, red hair, fiery. Great woman, great woman. Born and raised in South Philadelphia.
Garnier.
Where the times were tough. It's just survival in the streets of Philadelphia, that's all.
We lived on a farm at the time. It was poor. Everybody was poor.
When I got to about 10, I got a paper route. $5 a month I made, something like that, you know.
$5 a month.
So at least something.
A work ethic that the Pennsylvania
Winters,
this particular area are very proud of.
So I sort of branched out on my own early age.
I was married when I was...
These close-ups of their face, just like you can see everything they've been through in their faces.
I said, let's go in the Army. He said, hell, I don't want to go in no Army. I said, well, gonna have to go sooner or later.
Something was wrong with you if you weren't in the service in those days. It was just what you had to do.
And we heard what people do when they couldn't go into service.
I was going to be in some top kind of a unit, or I wasn't going to be in the Army.
Life magazine had run an article on paratroopers, and it told about the training that they got, difficult physical requirements, and I just got interested in seeing if I couldn't become a paratrooper.
I remember Lipton in the series talking about wanting to be with the best.
We was proud of our boots. We was proud of our shoulder patch. We was proud to be paratroopers.
You know those people better than you will ever know anybody in your life. Right down to the final thing. That comes when you start your training, while that progresses.
And they've been through so much together. Right from the very beginning, with Sobel even. Just right from the very beginning.
Man was like a heavyweight champ of the world boxer.
Out of 100%, only 10% made it.
Oh, this footage is so cool.
Some of them lost as much as 40 pounds, but I didn't have nothing to lose. I weighed about 130.
Popeye. Oh, he's Popeye.
They'd be there one day and they'd be gone the next.
They couldn't keep up with it. You understand? They were good men, but they couldn't take that hard training. He had the cream of the cream, the cream.
The cream of the cream.
Of course, the name Currahee, as I understand it, means we stand alone together.
Right.
It became a symbol of the camp because It was really rough and tough.
We stand alone together.
And it didn't matter how hard they trained you and how tired you got, you would still go out on your own and run the mountain at night, which was ridiculous because when you had to run it during the day, all you did was bitch and moan. At night, you'd get a couple of guys and go up and do it on your own.
Practice makes perfect.
I believe that the paratroopers of the 101st Airborne Division was as well trained as you could get a soldier to be.
I think we saw that demonstrated in Band of Brothers.
Service is hell, getting on a plane.
You're asking yourself, what the hell am I doing here?
Coming down is great.
It affects everybody.
You gotta jump behind enemy lines. You have to be the best.
There was a bunch of guys out there that already made their jump, and they was all hollering, "You're gonna be sorry," you know.
You didn't want to be afraid, because all these other guys are right there with you, and your bravado and all that. Didn't want to be afraid, so you kept that out of your mind.
Well, foolishly, I didn't think it'd be so tough, but the first jump you make is not all that bad. You don't know what you're doing. It just seemed like when you step out the door, your chute just opened right then.
As I went out the door, I was blank. I cannot remember leaving the plane until after the chute opened up.
You just kind of blacked it out, I guess.
It was just like going on a roller coaster. You get off and you want to go right back on again.
It does sound pretty thrilling. I do love roller coasters.
Coming down is great. I was small, too, and I didn't hurt myself when I hit the ground.
Always curious about that. If people like hurt themselves.
The big ones hit the ground like a ton of, what's his name?
The thing you worried about most was your chute. Did you pack it right? And you'd go through that, you'd pack it one day and jump the next day. You had all night to think about it.
Oh, yeah.
All kinds of ideas of what you might have done wrong, or it worked out fine.
Can only imagine that anxiety.
We were thoroughly prepared, trained, hardened, physically and mentally.
I love how in all of his interviews, he has the 506 and E company poster in the back.
When you walk up that gangplank, you know you're gone. As you pull out of harbor and you pass the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, we saw that.
Will I ever be coming back? I don't know.
For a lot of them, they didn't. 12-day crossing.
You're going to be jumping behind the enemy lines. What do you expect? You have no idea.
Chaos. Probably not as much chaos as actually happened.
We were ready. We were stationed in England for about...
Moose Heiliger. And we saw him get shot and then nothing after that.
About a week before D-Day. No liberties, no nothing. You couldn't get out of the camp.
They had guards around the marshalling area, so nobody could leave. That's when you felt that this is it. We did not know which day. We did not know where we were going to jump until we were locked in.
They made a scale model of the features of the land. They put in all the little buildings.
And you had to remember it all to the best of your ability.
We knew it by heart. We knew exactly where we'd go. Knew exactly what to do.
Planes were lined up and all the gliders hooked up to the planes.
Rows and rows of them. Wow.
Got the orders to get in the planes. This is it.
So much time built up to this one moment.
We were confident and calm.
Calm. And they flew into a shitstorm. At least that's what we saw in Band of Brothers.
We were all loaded down to the gills. We carried everything that we thought we could carry.
Look at them, just covered in stuff. Look at that. Jumping out of a plane with all of that attached to you.
A lot of them were very scared. I was scared too, but probably in a different way that other people were. They were going to get me there safely out of that plane. That's all that I worried about.
Yeah, just take it one step at a time.
At the time, I had no feeling whatsoever. Like I said, my feelings was for my brother.
And we saw that. You had just found out.
When I jumped on D-Day, I swore I was going to kill every damn German I came across. Well, I think they nicknamed me Wild Bill because I did a lot of killing D-Day.
We saw that. We saw how wild he was. That wild anger.
And I saw the thousands of craft, ships, everything from LCIs to battleships.
Just incredible. Look at that.
How large the invasion was. Tremendously large.
You must have to realize how much bigger it is than just you as an individual. How much effort has been put into this one moment.
And that's when the fireworks started.
That's why everybody wanted to get out of the plane as fast as they could.
Yeah, you can imagine why.
The pilots, I'm just happened to read their mind is, okay, we got so much gas, we're going to have to get back to England. So what are we going to do with all these guys back here?
There was a certain relief, I think, when the green light came on and everybody said, let's go.
I jumped up on a run and hit the static line.
This is Buck?
Got such an opening blast from the prop blast that it broke this chin strap that we had.
I remember seeing this clip in the D-Day episode.
They call them leg bags. They got to be this big, and you keep stuffing
I heard so much about these leg bags.
everyone that jumped with a leg bag or supplies, they lost it. Most of the paratroopers that landed didn't have nothing.
God, that's awful. You guys told me a little bit more about those leg bags and about that whole situation. People didn't have anything when they dropped, when they landed.
Only I was gone out and my leg was in. And I was hanging upside down, looking at everything down with my leg in the plane.
Holy crap.
And Paul rolled me out. Paul Rogers rolled me out.
You had to be rolled out?
Threw him out.
Oh,
yes.
they're both still here, too. That's crazy.
We just wanted to get out so bad. And I could see the tracers, and they were kind of spraying around in the air. Whoever the machine gunner was down there that was concentrating on me apparently was not a very good shot.
Yeah, thank God for that. I mean, it is nighttime. I don't know if that makes a difference.
There's some trees. There's a road. Try and slip to avoid the trees. Try and slip to avoid landing on the road.
My chute fell across the power lines, and I hit that fence and fell into a farmer's garden. That fence had, I'll never will forget it, it had glass in the top of it and cut me up. It didn't bother me. I was down, and I got down with my gun.
Oh, that's lucky. More than some people
I
had.
got looking at my map, and we wasn't anywhere close to where we were supposed to be. We didn't know where we were.
God, all that planning just like out the window. Out the window with the paratroopers.
We were running into Germans everywhere, but we had to hide. If we didn't, we were dead meat.
Yeah.
I had my trench knife, and I reached up.
It's funny that there's more than one Buck.
And I come down that tree like a monkey.
And then there I was with a
Here's our other Buck.
canteen and about 6 candy bars in my pocket, ready to fight the German army, you know.
Later on, we run across somebody who had been killed, and you take his weapon.
Oh, is that real footage?
You get a weapon for D-Day.
You got to do what you got to do.
Better prepared for it than the Germans were. The Germans didn't know where we were.
Whereas on the beach, those people coming in on those boats, those Germans had those big guns aimed right at them, you know.
Yeah, we saw that in Saving Private Ryan. That's
Had it tough. I admire every one of them.
Yeah, same. So many of them didn't make it out of that.
People out of the landing craft were trying to come onto the beach, and they were firing right down on them.
Right.
This battery of 105s was placed precisely where it should be to protect that causeway, any troops coming up the causeway.
Break court. This is what we saw Winters and Easy take out.
The Germans had moved in there and camouflaged us so well, we didn't know it was there.
And they did it. We saw that. That was such a great sequence in episode 2.
They weren't aware of what we had. They didn't realize we only had 12 people. So we worked our way down through the farm area. Lieutenant Winters had us set up a firing position.
I could see a trench, and I thought I knew where our machine gun was.
Winters was an exceptional leader, and he was able to size up all through the war, size up combat situations, and decide quickly.
I love hearing the reverence for Winters.
Best way to take care of whatever the problem was.
Gave instructions. I want Compton, Malarkey, and Wynn to crawl up there and hang.
Yeah, we saw what happened to Wynn. I mean, luckily he was okay and came back, but...
Had the 2 machine guns set up to give him covering fire.
I look up and I peek through the bushes and I see a couple of Germans over here. So I pull out a hand grenade and I pull the pin on it and I threw it as high and as far as I could throw it. Damn thing had enough hang time on it that about the time it got to them, it went off in the air and I got one of them.
Damn. Did that actually, the thing with him like fumbling with one because he got knocked actually happen?
And they worked them Germans like a dose of salt.
3 Germans broke off from this position to run across.
It's so cool to hear them talk about this all these years later, the way they carried this out. It's like stuck with them.
Then I saw an arm stuck over that tent and one of those potato masher grenades, and that thing fell right down in that trench with me. And I was trying to scuttle my way out of the way of it and it went off, and I felt like it blowed my butt over my head.
Surviving that is just incredible.
Does he holler help? No. He hollers, "I'm sorry, Lieutenant. I'm sorry. I goofed."
I felt like I kind of let them down, but that's neither here nor there.
God, it's beautiful when you think of a guy who is that dedicated to his company to his buddies that he apologizes for getting hit. But that's the kind of guy he was. And that's the kind each one of them was. They were all the same.
That's who these men are. They're dedicated to each other, especially.
Respect I can't describe. Each one of them proved himself that he could do the job.
I love hearing this directly from Winters. I'm so glad that we have these interviews of Winters talking about this stuff.
And maybe if I had been harder, if I had done a little bit better job, there would have been a couple more men going home.
No, God. I mean, of course you would think that to yourself, but
I never thought I'd get through D-Day, let alone the next phase or the next phase.
I remember him talking about this in the following episode.
Chances of survival is very, very slim, extremely slim.
I love getting these expanded versions of the interviews. Oh, he's got a tattoo of it.
Edinburgh, Scotland, 1944. Me and Johnny Martin. Drunk as a skunk.
That's awesome. Oh, I wish we could have seen that in the series.
Get a tattoo. We didn't figure we had a chance to come home. Yeah, but we thought.
I wonder how hard it must be to talk about all of this all these years later. That can't be understated that they're reliving all of these things, talking about them, and what they might be going through, actually just talking about it.
Young kids that came in, for some reason, I don't know why, they were the first ones killed.
Just less experienced.
They were like heroes to us, That's how we looked at them.
I got right there to where I didn't want to be friendly.
I saw that time and time again, not even in just the replacements episode, but going forward.
My 10-man squad that I was in, 8 were replacements, Sergeant Muck and Corporal Pinkella. Well, they'd been to Normandy. We had not. We were wondering if we were ever going to get to go. And then, of course, it got to be September.
That's cool hearing from a replacement, one that survived, one that didn't die first.
The drop was perfect. It was a mass drop. Everybody was dropping on the same field.
See where you're going. You can sort of prepare for the landing.
God, that's so cool looking. All the parachutes in the sky.
People are continually losing helmets and equipment, and all this equipment's raining down.
Oh.
If you got hit with this, you're going to be killed or...
Yeah. Did that happen to anybody? That would be such a shitty way to go out.
Taking hours to get there. The few German troops that were to secure this bridge had plenty of time to set their charges to blow the thing up.
I was maybe 150 yards away. It blew up in our faces.
Rocks and timbers were flying. You can't help but think to yourself, my God, what a way to die in combat, to be killed with a flying timber.
Could have happened.
But once we got in, the Dutch, it was just marvelous. Their reaction, they loved Americans and still do, coming in there and pushing the Germans out.
We saw how happy they were to see them.
They call us angels from the sky, which we were. I mean, you were under German occupation for 4 years.
Jesus.
Horrible. When you see paratroopers come out of the sky.
Liberation.
Who are they? They were angels.
Yeah. Angels come to liberate you.
And it was hard to even get down the streets because people were out there swarming all over us.
And they hugged you and kissed you, and we
Yeah.
didn't mind.
I'm sure.
We was young. We didn't mind at all.
Oh, I'm sure.
The point where it was dangerous for us trying to clean out the town because snipers did some damage situation like that.
Oh.
They're fighting like heck to keep us out of Germany.
Yeah, we couldn't get in this way. We had to find a different way in.
They could observe any movement we made during the daytime. Shell us, put mortar fire on us when they had a target of opportunity.
A mortar shell, and I threw my arm up like that and went down. It lit within 3 feet of me or 4, but
so close.
And it went through my arm and hit me in the head, and I was bleeding pretty good.
I sort of peeked over. When I peeked over, I see a hand there with...
Oh, of course. Just waiting for you to peek out like that.
Bounced off my helmet. I hollered out to the guys below, live grenade.
If Lesniewski hadn't hollered live grenade laying right in front of me, in my face practically, I know I'd have either had my head blown off or I would have definitely been blind. Because I just got turned just part way and it exploded, and then it caught me in the face, neck, left arm, under the arm, in the shoulder.
Oh, Jesus.
I had 8 grenades, so I taken them off, pulling the pins and throwing them over. They were hitting some of the crowds because I could hear screaming, hollering, crying. I think I threw the 8 grenades in about 4 seconds, and then I took off running.
Wow.
So the doctor that counted the holes in me said there was 32.
32 holes. I mean, you're still here, though. That's just amazing. It's so incredible he lived and is still alive in this moment to give this interview.
Wham.
The 88 was the fiercest cannon that the Germans had.
It's just so hard to wrap your mind around the fact that these are the actual men who lived through this and are describing their experience. They lived through it. It is a part of their lives that they had this experience. I just can't wrap my mind around it fully. It's crazy.
Mushroom cloud. Joe Toy stepped out. I ran up and I grabbed him. And he said, "Oh, don't touch me. I'm hit all over." He said, I'm bad. I said, "Okay." I said, "I'm going to go see Jim." As bad as he was hurting, he said, "I already checked him. He's gone."
Oh.
Jim Campbell might be alive today. If he hadn't have said to me, "You stay here with your gun. I'm going up."
It's just those small choices.
I never, I sleep on it, I eat on it. Anybody that went through it tell you the same thing. So bad. All your life. You gotta remember what one guy did because he thought it was his job to do, and he took a shot for you.
That was an incredibly powerful moment. The way he explained that, I can't even imagine, but you have to imagine that would happen all the time. The people that survived through the whole thing probably had so many instances like that of people taking a bullet for them, and that's why they're still here.
Didn't realize at that point that you're only going to be off the line for a few days and you're going to be facing Bastogne.
Bastogne. I don't know if I'm ready for Bastogne. Battle of the Bulge.
The last desperate action of the Germans to turn the tide of this whole war.
The Ardennes Forest. Wow, really the largest engagement in history. I didn't realize that.
But it is Bastogne.
Oh.
This is Bojack's Woods, right?
It
is the woods.
This is incredible.
Sure looks different now. There ain't no snow.
Oh, to see Garnier back here and Babe.
That's it. Yeah.
I can't even imagine all the things in this. Obviously, I can't imagine any of it. But revisiting this area where this happened.
There's the town of Foy. Right over there, we had an outpost set up, looking right into the...
Now it's got power lines going through it.
Of course, we'd come in here and go to sleep. We had our foxholes right over here.
I can't believe they came back here. This is just amazing.
Couldn't believe it. You had to be here. Just dove in the hole and just pray. That's it. We lost Muck and Pinkella over on this side.
Yeah.
They were killed instantly.
We saw that.
Made mincemeat out of them. Georgie Ludge come over and he hollered, "I can't see nothing of them. There's nothing there. They were all gone." Unmerciful shelling, really. Everything I think was shredded. It's an odd feeling. To me, it brings a lot of memories. The memories of...
What is this, 50 years later? I'm assuming this was shot sometime in... not too long before this was put together. God, that was powerful. Just seeing those two revisit that place.
We were short of equipment. We didn't have enough ammunition. We didn't have enough warm clothes. We didn't know what we were getting into. There was very little information.
You just have to do what you're told and do what you have to do. You're just one small piece in all this.
As it worked out, there's some men actually got on the trucks and left for Bastogne and didn't have a rifle.
I feel like you would just feel helpless in that situation.
Some of them, even without weapons, without equipment, some of them were terrified.
Of course they would be.
They couldn't believe when they saw us up there that we intended to set up defensive lines and to stop the Germans. They said they couldn't be stopped.
Broken, just broken.
Asking the guys that's retreating, you got any extra ammunition or a hand grenade?
Yeah, we saw that. Here, just take it all. Take it. You'll need it.
Snow, cold, up.
Bull.
Grump.
This is the first time we're seeing Bull? That's amazing. Just awesome how many of these guys were able to take part in this.
In Belgium, the trees are planted. They don't grow like they do in Maine. They're rows of trees. You look down a row and you can see a half a mile. And there was on top of this hill, there was a ridge. We were dug in on that ridge. Germans knew right where we were. And they really gave us a shellacking.
Mother Earth is your best friend. You can always dig a hole and get out of sight,
Get inside the foxhole. Only protection that you had. Just terrifying to think about.
Quick you can get through that hard ground when somebody's shooting at you and them shells are falling. Now you can make fast work of it.
Dig a hole, get inside of it. It's all you got.
We were surrounded. The Germans were about maybe 100 yards away from us.
No matter where you looked around the circle, you could see artillery flashes. We knew from that we were surrounded.
Earth-shaking. If you live through them, you remember them for the rest of your life. I'm not sure you're the same for the rest of your life after you live through them.
How can you be? Just ingrained into your brain forever.
It was right at dusk. The Germans had this, this woods of ours zeroed in. And as we hit the woods, why this tremendous artillery attack came.
Oh, look at that.
It scared the hell out. I mean, I was scared, but I think I was petrified then. I thought the whole world was shooting at us at once.
That's probably what it seemed like.
I was crouched down in that foxhole. Wouldn't hold all of me, so about my nose up was above the ground. I could see all these shells hitting.
Imagine having the memory of that in your brain your entire life.
Joe got caught not near his hole, and Bill and I were ahead of him, and Bill had not been hit.
Joe said, Jesus Christ, what do I have to do to die?
We saw all the different things Joe Toy went through.
I went out to see what I could do for him. Bongo, I got it too.
I went over to Garnier, sitting on the ground. His leg was badly mangled. He was holding his leg and it was jerking like that. He said, Lip, they got old Garnier this time. He had been hit before, but they really got him.
Yeah, it's a real life line they had the actor say in the series.
I better not talk about it. Yeah, better not talk about it. It's terrible.
It's understandable not wanting to talk about it. I mean, you've talked about so much.
When a man was wounded, we felt glad for them. We felt happy for them.
Because they got to leave?
Had a ticket to get out of there. And when we had a man who was killed, we found that he was at peace. And he looked so peaceful.
You have to hope so.
We're glad that he found peace.
Just devastating.
Normandy, and I went through Holland. To this day, he says, I haven't got one scratch. He says, I'm afraid when I do get it, I'm really going to get it. And he was right. In this little town of Foley, he got killed.
Because you can just go through the whole thing without a scratch and just all at once.
He had any premonition of it. He just wondered about it.
I mean, that's just how it can happen all at once.
Keep your fingers crossed, and that was it.
It's just, I can't get over how these men are sitting down and talking about this, reliving it, that someone took the time, put in the effort to sit these men down and talk to them about this. It's just such a blessing to have these interviews and to hear it from their own mouths about what happened and what they went through.
For me to be here today, never before has a full division been cited by the War Department in the name of the President for gallantry in action. This day marks the beginning of a new tradition. With that tradition, therefore, will always be associated the name of the 101st Airborne Division and of Bastogne.
Wow. Here's Eisenhower saying all this. They got the recognition that they deserved.
The Germans had started to surrender. They still had their arms. There was almost a solid line of German troops coming north. Butcher's Garden.
Well, we're going all the way to the Eagle's Nest now.
And he built his Eagle's Nest on top of the Alp. I'm sure relax and confer.
We even got footage of him there.
This was the goal of the French who were on our right flank. This was the goal of the British. This is the place to capture. This is the one everybody wanted.
Hitler's Berchtesgaden retreat, burned by SS troops in the war's last days.
Oh, this voice. It's old, like, newsreel voiceover.
The only thing I seen at Berchtesgaden was a couple dead black uniform SS troopers laying on the road.
No resistance here.
Loot of all kinds that the men were looking for, such as guns, money that they were looting.
I was a pack rat anyway. I picked up a lot of German items, postcards and envelopes that were addressed to Hitler.
Wow.
That place was full of this big art, Rembrandt and all those.
Imagine taking some of that home as a souvenir. That's crazy.
Soldiers like us, we don't recognize a painting when we see it.
The 101st uncovers Hermann Goering's personal art collection. 1,200 artworks worth millions are included. Treasures will go back to rightful owners in pillaged nations.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear.
We found a warehouse full of gin, and we took it all and set up a bar.
Had 7 truckloads of champagne and cognac out of the wine cellars out of the Eagle's Nest. Yeah. So we stayed pretty well oiled for a while.
That champagne was good.
I started drinking it one day, and I drank it till about midnight that night. I went to the barracks, went to sleep. I didn't wake up the next day. I made a 2-day thing out of it. Didn't taste like it would hurt you. Tastes like ginger ale.
Went down smoothly, I guess.
The whole company fell out in their underwear. We didn't even have to dress, So, we just fell out in line formation in our underwear.
We're all having a party.
I had no problem with looting because of the fact that I had come down through Germany and I had seen the Holocaust. I had seen what the Germans had done to the Jewish race, and I'd seen what they had done to the displaced persons.
Yeah, fuck them at that point. You've seen all the horrors.
If they picked up a few trinkets, I had no problem.
Yeah, fair enough.
Nobody has ever taken the time to tell you how to handle a surrender. Jeez. We'll talk about that when we get there. Well, here we are. We got it. Now, how do you handle this?
Yeah, you have to figure out how to do that, how that transfer of power is going to work.
I think we thought that the Germans were probably the evilest people in the world. As the war went along, we found out also that it wasn't the Germans per se. It was SS and the special troops.
Yeah.
They were very good soldiers, but they're still enemy, so they must be controlled. I was assigned this major. He presented me this pistol, offered his personal surrender.
Is that what we saw?
But it wasn't until later, when he had given me this pistol and I had a chance to look at it carefully, that I realized this pistol had never been fired. There was no blood on it. That's the way all wars should end, with an agreement with no blood on it.
That's a beautiful sentiment.
It's never been fired since I've had it, and it will not be fired.
There's some really incredible symbolism in there. Winters is clearly a very principled man in real life.
I just come home, went back to like we did before one. Go to work and live our life.
How strange is that? Just go back to regular old life.
Went to work for a coal company.
Did some bartendering and ran a pool hall.
Took up a course in ornamental horticulture. It didn't pay very much, but there were a lot of nice people.
Home. I went into construction. I went into hard work, tedious work. I'd done everything. You name it, I'd done it.
Even with his leg the way it was.
Got my degree in 1948.
After the war,
It's so cool to see this
working for Nixon
after the war.
I was making $75 a week.
When he went to go work with Nixon.
Everyone done well. I done well, too. Thank God.
Reunions. I've heard about these reunions from the comments from you guys.
Celebrate the ending of a fine reunion. Thank you all for...
I love that they do this. They have these.
All the men from Company E506, I love you. God bless you all.
It's just to give us a chance to get together and talk to each other.
Catch up, find out what's going on in their lives.
But we have great respect, and you might say affection for each other.
Of course.
Affection that you get when you've lived through many dangerous situations.
Wow, look at them.
And have learned that you can rely on each other.
Look at them all together.
That bond's still there. The bond you can't explain.
There's an intimacy develops like nothing that I've ever experienced anywhere, not in college, not with any other group of people.
We're a strange bunch of dudes.
I love how close they all are.
To be this close after all these years.
Close they continue to be. That's just incredible. I'm assuming it's not like this with all companies.
I'd like to make 20 more reunions.
I hope that you got to. I hope that you did.
My family didn't know anything about it, and I just didn't tell them. I just figured it's something that didn't need talking about. It was done, over with.
I think that's probably the case for a lot of people.
He started talking about it just in the last 5 or 6 years. Last 5, I'd say.
Oh, that's nice. He started talking about it.
It didn't even dawn on me that he'd killed people.
I really admire my daddy.
This is so cool, getting to see the families. This is so cool.
Been to France and to that cemetery. There's crosses upon crosses upon crosses and just lined up perfectly as far as the eye can see.
Oh, I would love to visit some of this someday. These places.
These weren't just anonymous statistics. These were people that I knew. I told my daughter, I said, this guy here died at age 19 or 20. Whole life. Never lived. No family, no opportunity to have some satisfaction of building a life, nothing.
Didn't get to see the war ended, life move on.
Dad, you were so lucky. And he looked at me and he said, yeah, very lucky. And he started crying.
Lucky is the word that pops into my mind. The ones that
have been with each other in an absolute...
We're able to keep going. Toy.
Knowing you're going to die, or thinking you're going to die, or seeing people dying all around you. It held my father even on his tombstone as Sergeant Joe Toy.
His father was Joe Toy.
101st Airborne Division. That's what he wanted on his tombstone. Meant that much to him.
Something you keep with you forever. All of these men seem to have kept it with them forever. It's a part of who they are.
As you know, every Army unit thinks it's the best. But we knew we were the best.
Hell yeah.
Am I a little proud of having once served in that outfit? You bet your life. That's probably the proudest thing of my whole life, having been in these.
You've earned that pride. You've earned a right to be proud of it.
The heroes have crosses over their heads, the ones that are buried in the cemeteries. Those are the true heroes, not us. We're just part of the work, that's all. And we thank God we got back alive.
Garnier is a humble man. I love getting to see the real-life Garnier so much.
Son and the mother and father of the heroes of the Second World War. I the guys that come home.
I don't believe there's very, very, very few heroes that came back from the war. They're still over there.
Yes.
Do you remember the letter that Mike Raney wrote me? Do you remember how he ended it?
I do.
Grandpa, were you a hero in the war? Grandpa said no, but I served in a company of heroes.
Ending on that note again, just so beautiful, so poignant. I'm already saying a lot of names I recognize, a lot of them in June and September. I mean, a lot of them on June 6th, D-Day, obviously, and September, December, January. It's interesting how concentrated in certain months these deaths are. It's just battles that Easy Company took part in.
Joe Toy. Oh, there was a big Mick. On here, you're Italian. You don't know this song. Gone here could sing it better than he did. Bridget O'Flynn. Bridget O'Flynn. Bridget O'Flynn. Sure it's a fine time for you to come in.
He has a good voice.
To see the big parade, me eye.
He's like a performer. Wow, look at this performance.
I'm telling you, Bridget, just what to do. Stay away from the water, Bridget, darling.
Nice.
The song Twilight.
That was great. That was beautiful.
You only needed a sissel of beer. 2 beers, you were drunk. 2 beers, you were high as Georgia Pine. You know.
Oh, that was fantastic. What an absolutely beautiful tribute that was to the men of Easy Company, this company that we've been following all through a Band of Brothers. And I love that in this, we got to see it from their perspective, from the real life men's perspective, hear it from their mouths, talk about everything they went through, from like their training all the way till the end of the war. We got to hear in their own words, their experiences, what they went through, who they lost, and all the things that they still carry with them to this day, or at least to the day when this was made. And I mean, it's been like a couple decades since this was made. It's just all these years later, these like many decades later, them recording this, and like someone took the time to meet up with all these men and record their stories, record their own words. And now we have this. We have the book that Stephen Ambrose wrote. We have books that some of the other men in Easy Company wrote about their experiences, and that's all amazing. It's great to get that full story, to get as much of that full story as you can get from all of the interviews that had to be conducted to make those books happen, but to see it with your own eyes and to hear it with your own ears. These men explain what they went through is just so beyond moving. It's so powerful. It's like hard to wrap your mind around throughout the entire thing, like constantly throughout this entire thing. I'm just having such a hard time wrapping my mind around the fact that these are the real men that went through these things, that did these things, and that were the lucky ones who got to come back and live these full lives and are still alive to this day, to the day that this was created. And it's just such a blessing to have these recordings of these men talking about these things. And I mean, they said it a few times here, like Shifty's family, for example, like talking about how he didn't really talk about it very much. And maybe he's been opening up a little bit more throughout the last few years, but they don't talk about it much. They keep it all inside because, you know, it's over and done with. It's some really traumatic experiences that they lived through and probably are really difficult to look back on and remember all the people that they met along the way and that they lost along the way, remembering those people and like having to relive that for these interviews is just, I feel so grateful for them for sitting down and giving these interviews when I'm sure for a lot of them it was probably hard, maybe harder for some than others. Like some of them, maybe they talk about it more than others do. I think the fact that they do these like reunions every year, maybe that helps Easy Company in particular talk about their stories because they talk about it with each other. They get to meet each other every year for decades, just decades of these reunions of getting back together. I feel so grateful that this exists, and I feel like that can't be overstated. The fact that this exists is just incredible, and I thank the people who made it so much for making it a reality, for making this. Band of Brothers just has so many characters, it has so many people, so many names, and I'll tell you guys like right now that along with like watching this on my own, as I've been editing this series and like going back and rewatching them as I edit them, I've also been watching some other reaction channels react to this after watching the episodes for the first time and editing the episodes, editing my episodes, and then watching other reactors react to them. I feel like I know these men more and more every time I watch this, and I've got to tell you, I'm going to be like you guys. I'm sure you guys go off and watch all the reactions you can find of the series. I'm definitely going to be that way too now. I'm going to go find more and more reactions, watch more reactions of this series because it's such a great series to see people discover this history that like I had only an inkling of knowledge about as I've gotten to like revisit the series more and more as I've edited these episodes and as I've watched other reactors react to them. I feel like I've gotten to know the men more and more. Obviously, we got like like the little snippets of interviews at the beginning of every episode. And so like it's kind of like an abstract thing because you don't know who anyone is until the very last episode. You don't know who any of the men are who are like speaking in those interviews. You just know that they are the real life Easy Company. It's just amazing at the end of the series, learning who each man is, and then you can connect each man to the face of the actor playing that man. But in this, it's just so, it's all them, and it's all their story. And it's just a whole different experience hearing them talk about it in their own words and seeing like their personalities come through and shine when they talk about it, and seeing what moves them, what parts are still hard to talk about, what parts they feel like they can't talk about or don't want to talk about. It's really interesting, but also really beautiful. It's such a great cap off to watching this series. We followed this like reenactment basically of everything they went through. And like there were some historical inaccuracies, but for the most part, they really tried to make it as accurate as possible while trying to tell a really compelling story in every single episode with a whole huge array of characters and things going on all the time. It's like watching this little documentary gives us an even better glimpse into who these men are than an entire 10 episode series did. And like, that's not to take anything away from Band of Brothers, because Band of Brothers is amazing to watch. And I loved all the actors portraying all of the characters, all of the different men. And I loved getting to experience this reenactment of history, but to see all of these real Easy Company men talk about things the way they did, and to see, like I said, their personalities come through and shine. It really makes you feel like you only scratched the surface of who they are as people. We only got the smallest glimpse into who they are, the smallest glimpse into their lives, hearing them speak, but also hearing them speak about people that we've lost, like even like Joe Toy, who was taken out of the war at the same time as Garnier, but who presumably passed on sometime before this was filmed. Like even he becomes more alive in the words of these men speaking about him. It just goes to show you how something like Band of Brothers, this reenactment of history, it can only go so far in showing you who these men are. And getting to see this, getting to watch this, it showed you even more who they are. Now, having watched this, I feel like I could go off and rewatch the whole series over again and have an even deeper appreciation of all the men. I mean, especially the ones that we got to see speak in this one, but all the other men who didn't live long enough to participate in these interviews or didn't even get out of the war in the first place, who died in the war. As they said, those are the real heroes, the ones that are still over there and never got to leave. And they just feel more real. They feel more full than in any way that Band of Brothers could have depicted. Like, I mean, Band of Brothers did the absolute best it could to show us everything that happened and to show us the stories of these men, but there's just something truly special about seeing this documentary. I'm so glad that I watched this. This adds a whole new dimension onto my enjoyment of Band of Brothers as a whole, adds a whole new layer of my appreciation of Easy Company and the men in Easy Company. I know that they all say that the true heroes were the ones that were still over there, but they are all definitely true heroes in my book. I'm so thankful for them, so thankful for everything they've done, and I'm so thankful that they sat down and participated in this and let us listen to them speak about these things. I'm just so happy that I took the time to take this journey through Band of Brothers and through this, and I'm so grateful for all of you for sticking around and watching these with me. I hope that you enjoy this reaction. I would love to hear any and all thoughts that you have on this, on Band of Brothers. I love reading the comments on these episodes. I'm going to miss reading all of the comments on all of these episodes because it's just been a truly incredible experience. I'm going to be watching the Pacific next after this, so stick around for that if you're interested in watching the Pacific with me. I don't know what I'm in for going into that one, but I'm really looking forward to it because of how much it's been compared to Band of Brothers. We'll see what we get into with that when we get to it, but thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here, and until next time, I will see you all in the Pacific.